This podcast is a proud member of the UUOP Network.
Your attention, please, and welcome to the Portkey Passport, a Disney podcast for adults, where we discuss all things travel, Disney, and beyond. Grab your passport, sit back, relax, and enjoy the wildest podcast in suburbia. Hosts, grab your park bags and stand clear of the doors as we dive into this episode.
Welcome to episode 40 of the Portkey Passport. I'm Tricia, and I'm here with a new voice, Jordan. Say hello.
Hey, everybody. I'm Jordan.
We took a hiatus for a bit, but now we are back with a new host and new segments. But first, I'd like to give the floor to Nicole in a segment that she recorded for us, kind of talking about our transition.
Thank you so much, Tricia. I'm very excited for Jordan to join the team and excited for you to take the reins for the podcast. I will still be behind the scenes here and there to help everyone out. I just wanted to pop on and let our followers know that our original three hosts have moved on to new adventures. They each have their own podcast, but they are still park lovers, so you may see them around the Disney parks. We've got some exciting new segments and topics for this podcast, and just remember that while we're Disney focused, we may take you to destinations around the world at any given time. So please give us a follow wherever you listen to podcasts and stay tuned for more adventures with Jordan and Tricia.
Thanks, Nicole, for that information. Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our newest host, Jordan. Jordan, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hey, everybody. I'm Jordan. I am a soon-to-be first-time dad, Disney lover, mainly the parks, and then also Star Wars and Marvel and all of the nerdy stuff. That's kind of the biggest part for me. I guess, Tricia, what else would people like to know about me?
Well, when we get to our rapid question section later on, and you're in the hot seat, we'll probably get to learn a lot about you.
Yeah, I didn't want to say too much because I know you've got some great questions planned.
All right. Well, before we move on to those great questions, we're going to highlight a current discount at Disney in our discount corner. So, like Oaken and his trading post, Disney has some big summer blowouts going out this year. But you need to book them soon if you want to enjoy them. So Disney Plus members can get rooms as low as $99 a night at All Star Sports, and there are additional discounts at the other resorts. This is to be done for at least 2 consecutive nights, and the dates range from June 21st, 2026 to August 15th, 2026. There are some blackout dates, so if you're interested in traveling to Disney during that time period, make sure you talk to your travel advisor to find the best discount for you. Also, something to think about during the summer is that it is very hot in Florida, and I don't think I've ever seen this ticket offer outside of convention tickets, but they're now offering a PM ticket for 2 or 3 days. They are date-based at $117 per day, which is a discount from the original. Entry is after 2 p.m., and that begins May 26th of this year and runs through July 29th of 2026. Have you ever been down there, Jordan, during the summer?
I usually do go down during the summer. My mom likes to celebrate her birthday there in July. So it's difficult. July 29th, the last day of those deals, is actually her birthday. So I'm there during that time pretty frequently. And usually you won't find me in the parks before 2 p.m. So this ticket sounds amazing.
I'm one of those midday break people. So I hit the park in the morning, and then we usually do the pool in the afternoon before we go back at night.
Yeah, I'm normally a close down the park person. So my wife and I, or my mom, or whoever I'm traveling with, will we'll take a easy morning. We might go get brunch at the resort, and then we'll mosey into the park after lunch. Maybe grab some lunch on the way, and then we'll show up at the park to close it down for the evening.
I have to say, the parks at night, they just have a really special like vibe to them. It's less chaotic, I feel like.
For sure. I'm sure it will come up in my 20 rapid questions, but my favorite place at the park is Galaxy's Edge at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. It is just fantastic to go sit and absorb the atmosphere.
I agree. I had an Olga's Cantina reservation and they got behind, and it was just me. I was traveling solo. And by the time I got done, they had parts of Batu like dark, and they had cast members kind of directing everybody to exit in one way. Um, so I was literally like at points the only person I could see in that area, and it was kind of wild, but
That,
also kind of cool.
yeah, that is my favorite thing to do. Get a Oga's Cantina reservation because usually you can get a reservation like an hour after park closes. So you go and you shut down Oga's and you walk out through Galaxy's Edge, through the marketplace, just at night, quiet. You get to hear all the soundscape around you. It's
Mhm.
amazing. I love that experience.
And I think if people don't pick it up on that during this episode, we are kindred spirits. We are both very big Star Wars fans. Um, at this recording, I am happy to announce that I secured tickets to Star Wars Celebration in Los Angeles in next year. And so that was harrowing, waiting on the virtual queue, but I'm glad I'm able to get tickets and go. So should be a fun time.
I am so jealous. It is on my bucket list, but like I said, soon to be first time dad. So for the foreseeable future, I think it's on pause.
Yep, that's what it was like for me. It took a while before I was able to go, and I haven't been back since 2019 when it was in Chicago. So I'm looking forward to this. All right. Well, I'm going to put you in the hot seat now, and I've got 20 questions for you so we get to learn a little bit more about you and your Disney fandom.
All right,
So,
I'm ready.
your favorite Disney park?
I think you could probably pick it up from what I've said so far, but it is absolutely Hollywood Studios.
Okay. What part of Hollywood Studios are you looking forward to most when it's completed?
Uh, I am a huge Muppets fan, so I am very excited for the Rock and Roller Coaster retheme. I'm actually going to be down there when it opens. Maybe try to
Oh,
sneak into one of those DVC priority previews. So I am super excited for that.
oh, well, you'll have to report back if you get a chance to ride it.
I absolutely will.
Okay, question two, your favorite Disney attraction?
So, from a ride perspective, it is Rise of the Resistance.
Okay.
It's an amazing ride for sure. I the Tower of Terror does have a special place in my heart because that's where I got married.
Oh, all right. You have to tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, yeah, I will say Disney Fairy Tale Weddings is the best wedding experience. I've had so many friends. Like when I told them, "Hey, we're going to get married at Disney," they expected like, "Oh my god, that must be crazy expensive. There must be all this like crazy stuff you have to do." It When I compare it to other folks who got married around the same time, for the experience that we got, it was, very much comparable to getting married here in North Carolina.
Hmm,
Um, it was it's amazing because you get to go to 2 or 3 planning meetings and then you just show up. You don't have to worry about like, oh, I need to find someone to help me get chairs to the venue, or I need to get the florist and the cater. They do it all for you. You
wow.
you you tell them a few things, you go to a tasting, you get to talk to the chefs. They plan out a menu for you. They have some guidelines, but we absolutely wanted to have corn dog nuggets from Casey's on our buffet, and the chefs were like, "No problem, we'll take care of it for you." So you really get the white glove treatment when you're doing a fairy tale wedding. It was an amazing experience. I would not change it for the world.
That is so cool. I think you're the first person that I've met that's had a wedding at Disney. You hear about it. So that's really neat.
Yeah, I really think there's a perception from people that it's when you have a TV show for fairy tale weddings, you kind of get this air of like, oh man, this is exclusive and difficult. And no, it's really easy. And Disney, like the wedding planners for fairy tale weddings are amazing. Disney does such a great job of getting you prepared, taking care of all the things. We got married when they were still kind of ramping back up after COVID, and there were a few things that weren't the smoothest, but Disney absolutely took care of us in other ways. They made sure, we didn't have the entertainment we wanted at one venue, but Mickey and Minnie showed up instead. So
Oh,
we were super excited about that. So it's an amazing experience. I recommend it to anybody if you are a Disney Parks fanatic. It's better than I could have imagined. It was amazing. I know I've said that 100 times, but I will continue to I will continue to evangelize Disney fairy tale weddings.
do you know if they do like vow renewals or anything like that?
They do. I actually,
Mm.
when we went to our tasting, we actually did it as a group because they were ramping back up from COVID and they had so many people who
Oh,
delayed. So
yeah.
they kind of had to do it as a group setting. And one of the couples we sat with were doing a vow renewal. I've heard about people who, before Ellen's Universe of Energy closed, they had their
Okay.
vow renewal in the ride. Uh, they do vow renewals, weddings, kind of informal vow renewals. They'll make it work for you if there's a thing you
Yeah.
want to do like that.
Mm. I might have to keep that in mind for like maybe my 25th anniversary.
I absolutely recommend it. My wife and I are already planning where we're going to do our vow renewal someday.
Oh, well, that's exciting. All right. So, question number 3, favorite Disney park show or parade?
So I am absolutely a Halloween lover. So my favorite parade is the Buddha U parade. There's something really magical about standing on Main Street on Halloween. The lights go down, everybody gets quiet, and you start to hear the headless
Mm.
horseman clopping.
Hmm.
And you see the headless horseman ride down Main Street, and then the parade follows that. Oh, it's a magical feeling.
My favorite part of that parade is like the zombie corpse guys with the shovels.
The grave diggers, yes,
Yes.
everybody loves them.
Oh, it was such a neat concept for how they use them in the parade.
It's great. Yeah, it's great to see them embrace more of the spooky side of Halloween for some of that, but keep it fun for kids.
Yeah. All right. How about favorite in park Disney entertainment? So, like a walk around character or somebody like the Dapper Dans.
I really love I Star Wars. I really love the Star Wars walk around characters. I love you're just standing there in the afternoon in Batu, and Kylo Ren and some stormtroopers come to interrogate you about why you're using your phone, or Ray sneaks up behind you and asks if you've seen some stormtroopers and wants you to recruit you for the resistance. It's my favorite things as a Star Wars fan.
I do love that. I was fortunate enough we got to go out to Disneyland during spring break, and they have a few characters that the East Coast doesn't have. And my favorite character is Ahsoka Tano. And so she's a relatively new addition to Batu West. And in the app, it tells you like roughly the times they'll be making appearances throughout that area. And so it was just me and my daughter. And I'm like, okay, we're going there and we are going to find her. And it was literally like a manhunt. The two of us where she's up on the market going through. I'm down in the street, like, that's like a half flight of stairs lower, and I see her come out, and I just turned into a little kid and I shout out, "Snips!" I think I startled her a little bit. I don't think she was expecting to hear someone yell at her. And I had a moment of panic of like, oh, please don't run away from me. I'm not a crazy lady, I swear. But she had a really great interaction with us.
That's awesome. I love that. I do want to ask you, with the original trilogy coming to Batu West, what do you think about that transition? Because I have some thoughts.
So I the only content I don't really consume for Star Wars is the gaming, because I get pretty motion sick with, like, especially first player games, but anything that requires like spinning around to see your surroundings. So I've read all of the Black Spire novels, and there is a point in the timeline that's it's canon, where Anakin and then later on as Darth Vader are on Batuu. So for me, knowing that, it's him being there is feasible. Um, I think because Leia and Han look nothing like Leia and Han, they kind of rub me the wrong way. What are your
Yeah,
thoughts?
I agree with you on that. It's kind of wild that I think the biggest part of it is their costumes, that they look
Mm,
like just off the rack. They don't
yeah,
look lived in or dirtied up in any way. It's like you got a pristine outfit from Han and Leia, and they're just walking around Batu when normally you would expect, like, hey, maybe there's some they're a little rough around the edges.
yeah, yeah.
But I'm someone who loved the sequel trilogy, and it's going to come up later in these questions, but I'm someone who absolutely loved the Star Cruiser, so it hurts my heart a little bit to see it change.
Mm, yeah. All right. Our next question is favorite Disney dining.
I really had to rack my brain about this, but I think it is the Boathouse at Disney Springs.
Okay.
I just have some really special memories there from my friends and I took a trip there several years ago, and we did another friends trip after that. So we always get a Boathouse reservation. It's a special place for us. The food is fantastic, but more than that, it's the memories we've made there.
Okay, so have you done the Amphicar?
I have not, but I've seen the Amphicar take on water. I've seen those TikToks, so it kind of makes me say, maybe not. Um,
Swimming back to shore?
yeah, my
I
other
get
favorite
that.
my other favorite part about the Boathouse is it's right next to the Hangar Bar, and that's my
Oh,
favorite bar to hang out in Disney Springs. So go hang out the Hangar Bar until the reservation's ready, and then walk over to the Boathouse.
uh, that is it has been on my to-do list like for the last 6 or 7 trips, and it just never works out that we have time to go there. So someday I will get there.
Are you an Indiana Jones fan?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you have to go. At least next time you're there, if you don't have time to stop and have a drink, at least go in and walk around and just check out Jock Lindsay's memorabilia there. It's amazing.
Okay. I will put that on my to-do list. What about your favorite snack?
So, ironically, my favorite snack is in my least favorite park. My favorite snack are the cheeseburger bao buns at Satuli Canteen in Animal
Okay.
Kingdom.
Okay. So what is it about Animal Kingdom that has it at the bottom of your list?
Um, I think it will. Now that I'm going to be bringing a younger kid with me to Disney, I think it will creep up. But
Okay.
I, I like Everest. It's a great thrill ride. It's a great roller coaster. But I don't I don't watch a lot of shows when I'm at Disney. It's not my main
Mm,
thing. I don't. The properties that are at Animal Kingdom now are not properties that really excite me. So it's a park that I will. It I know everybody hates when you say Animal Kingdom is a half day park, but it's a half day park for me. Um, But I love the safari. I love Everest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss Dinosaur, but it'll be great when Indiana Jones is there, and that may sway my opinion of it. But for now, it is at the bottom for me.
Yeah. I You raise a good point. My daughter's 12 and we've been taking her since she had just turned 4. And Animal Kingdom used to be higher up on our list back when like the Boneyard was open because that was an area she could go and play in. And they just had more, it was more vibrant. They had the pontoon boats go by more frequently with characters and stuff like that. So it used to be higher, but now that she's older, she actually like we've kind of graduated more towards like Epcot. Her favorite ride is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
And she likes Epcot for the sense of like if the lines start to get really long, you can go into the countries and explore the countries. And there's always something to do that doesn't require standing in line. And she's not the most patient person in the world. So we've actually found ourselves spending the most time now at Epcot as she's gotten older.
Yeah, for sure. And I just foresee my daughter loving Bluey and wanting to go see Bluey all the time. So I'm sure Animal Kingdom is going to be on her list.
Well, my 12-year-old wanted to pop in when we were in Disneyland because they got the show first, and it happened to be had started like a couple weeks before we got there, and it was really cute. I mean, if you know the franchise, even as an adult, you kind of get into like the music and they have live actor like people on stage with the character actors, and they're just as entertaining. So.
Yeah, one of my grown adult friends, dad friends, says Bluey is his favorite show, period, after watching it with his kids. So I totally get it.
He's got good taste. All right. Now, you mentioned that you're hoping to snag a DVC preview for the Muppets. That means you are a DVC owner, correct?
Correct.
Does that sway the next question of which Disney resort is your favorite?
It does a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
So, my family actually owns 2 DVCs. Initially, we bought at why is the name the hotel that's attached to the Contemporary? I've totally
Bay
forgotten.
Lake Tower?
Bay Lake Tower, yeah.
All right.
So initially we bought at Bay Lake Tower, and Bay Lake Tower is great. You get to go to the Contemporary, but my mom always wanted to own at the Poly. So we have DVC at the Polynesian, and it has become my favorite resort to go to for sure.
Oh yeah, that's a bucket list for me. We haven't stayed there yet. I'm working on my husband with DVC. We did go and do like the formal tour of like the model rooms, and we both loved it, but it's a hefty financial commitment, and he at the time just wasn't quite ready to pull the trigger on that.
For sure. And it's not right for everybody. I totally get that. But with the amount that my family goes, we make it a special occasion when we go usually. So we'll get a room at the Poly. We love to stay on the monorail. So it just made a lot of sense for us to own where we did.
Is the newest one that they're building, is it Lakeside? Is that what that one's called?
I don't know the name off the top of my head, but it is open now. But I have not had a chance to stay there. I've heard the rooms are beautiful, but part of the magic of the Poly is that it is old and that it dates back to when the park opened. So you get a little bit of that original Disney magic at the Poly.
Yeah. We've gone there and done a lot of their activities. I made like forgot what the nuts are called, but it was like a lay out of these special like nuts that are from some tree. I'm sure whoever's listening is probably like screaming the name. But there's just so many unique experiences there. That's another one. What is it called? The Trader Sam's is on my list. It's on my list as well. No.
You have to do
You know,
Trader Sam's.
what scares me are the rumors of how difficult it is to like get in because they don't take reservations. And if you're not there waiting, it could be a while. And, it's like, do I want to devote that much time if I'm not staying there? So,
It's definitely one of those things that if you're planning a longer trip and you have a day where you're just going to you're going to do a resort day, or you're going to do, drinking around the monorail line. You should do Trader Sam's on one of those days because, yes, you're right. It is difficult to get into sometimes.
okay. All right. It's also on my to-do list. I have a pretty lengthy like bucket list for Disney.
It really seems like it.
All right. So, what about transportation? Do you have a favorite version?
I love the Skyliner.
Mm,
It
yeah.
Hollywood Studios being my favorite park and that being the best way to get to Hollywood Studios. But also getting to, soar over Disney property and look at cars down below. I know it freaks a lot of people out and they're scared of that, but I love it. It's just, you get a little whimsy in your transportation as well as getting to my two favorite parks, Epcot and Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, that's a big selling point. Like we are park people when we go, and so we don't tend to spend much time in the hotel. So we find ourselves most often at a Pop Century because again, we are Skyliner folks. We spend a lot of time in those same two parks. So we tend to stay where it's the most convenient for our trip that go round.
I've heard it can be hard to get on the Skyliner at Pop sometimes, though.
Um I I think the hard part is I've stayed a number of times there. I do run Disney, and Pop
Hmm.
Century is one of the best resorts for runners. But I swear, there's been at least 3 or 4 different methods that they've used with loading people onto the Skyliner, and some methods work better than others. The weirdest one is they had the Pop Century folks on the Pop Century side. So if you're, left or right, depending on how you're looking at it. And they had us divided by if we are going to Epcot or Hollywood Studios. And I was like, what is the point of this? All of us are going to the transfer point at the Caribbean. It doesn't matter which park we're going to. And at that time, my husband and I were going to the studios, but he was only letting people from the Epcot line board the Skyliner. And I was like, let's just get in the Epcot line. And so we did. And we got on the Skyliner before he had even started letting people from the studios board. And I'm like, they both have the same early park entry time. Like, so, I'm pretty sure some of those people missed at least the opening of Rope Drop, and that probably didn't make them too happy.
Yeah, that seems really strange.
Yeah, so that was probably the worst wait we had. But generally, if it's a long wait or like a long line, it does move relatively quickly if you have people who know what they're doing.
Yeah.
All right, what about favorite Disney character?
Being a millennial and a kid that grew up in the arcades when I was a kid, it's absolutely Wreck-It Ralph.
Okay.
I love, just because you're a bad guy doesn't mean you're a bad guy. I feel like I feel like sometimes that's me in life. You gotta make the hard choices sometimes, but it doesn't mean you're a bad person. I've spent a lot of time in my career in leadership and management, so I know sometimes like you gotta make some
Mhm.
choices that might ruffle some feathers, but you're not the bad guy for that.
So would you say that's also the answer to the next question, your favorite Disney movie?
No, I picked a different one for this. I
All
love
right.
Ralph, but from the time I was a kid, like the first movie that I really remember latching onto, and I played this VHS tape until it wore out and we had to buy a new one, was Goofy movie.
Oh my gosh. That's great.
Yeah, Ralph has a place in my heart as an adult, but Goofy and Max and that story, little kid Jordan will always love that.
See, and I have my worn out VHS tape was The Little Mermaid. So I'm a little bit older than you, but still, that's a badge of honor back in the day when you could wear out a VHS tape from watching it enough.
For sure. And you know, I said I'm a Halloween person. Every time I go for Not So Scary, I've got to find Max dressed up as Powerline and get a picture. It's every year.
It's just such a fun character meet if you can see him. And if you watch him in the parade, you got to make sure you're on Main Street. We actually kind of came late to the second parade, and so we ended up facing the train station one year, and I forgot he didn't come down that far. And so the people we were with were like, "Where is he?" Whoops.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
All right. I think I know the answer to this next one, but your favorite Disney associated franchise?
Yeah, you know, it's Star Wars. Marvel is right up there, but Star Wars at heart for sure.
I 100% endorse that answer. Okay. So, favorite Disney memory. Now, this might be hard if you've been going to the parks for a while.
So I think I would have a difficult time at home if I didn't say my wedding. But we actually also got engaged at Disney, so I'll throw that one in there as second. I when we were getting engaged, a hilarious story. The day before our meeting at Fairy Tale Weddings, I had still not proposed yet, and I had this grand plan. But we're in the parks, my wife and my now wife and my mom and I, and my mom has been toting around the ring. She took it on a trip to Disneyland with us because I was thinking I would do it there, but then I had a change of heart and said, Disney World is our place, Hollywood Studios is our park. I've got to do it there. So my mom is carrying around a backpack all day, and the ring is in the backpack, and towards the late afternoon, we're having a snack. My mom is like, "Okay, I'm gonna go and let you guys enjoy the evening." And she says, "Do you need the backpack?" And I'm like, "No, I got it." Um, so my wife is going crazy because she obviously has an idea that the ring is in the backpack. I'm saying, no, I don't need the backpack. We have this fairy tale wedding meeting tomorrow. We're not even going to be engaged yet. But she didn't know I had snuck the ring out of the backpack and I had it in my pocket. We went to Galaxy's Edge. We found the PhotoPass photographer in front of the Millennium Falcon. And my wife went to stand for the picture. We had built a lightsaber together. The PhotoPass photographer's like, do you want to take your lightsaber? And I was like, no, I'm going to propose. So we got tons of great photos of me proposing in front of the Millennium Falcon. We had an Oga's reservation after that. You know, people bought us drinks, all kinds of crazy stuff. And on our way out, every PhotoPass photographer, the first one was taking us around and telling all the other PhotoPass photographers, hey, they just got engaged, take pictures. So they really made it magical. And we have a ton of great pictures with the ring, with the lightsaber we had just built. It was really magical. So if I can't say the wedding, it is our engagement.
Oh my God. You have the best recorded engagement in history.
I would say it's right up there. Yeah.
Well, I was a Disney fan from a kid. My husband less so. He grew up on like the really old live action stuff. Like he had Apple Dumpling Gang and like Herbie and things like that. But it's taken him a while to warm up to being a Disney adult. I think I've got him there now. But I don't have quite that kind of a story, but I think my favorite memory was the first trip we took as a family, the one where as an adult I was paying the bill, and we did a split stay, and we finished our trip at the cabins at Fort Wilderness, the original before they were renovated. And my daughter and I wanted to go to the campfire sing-along with Chippendale. And my husband's like, I'm going to stay back. I want to get some work done. And we're like, well, you're a party pooper. So we started walking because we were the stupid people who didn't rent the golf cart. And we're we're just hoofing it over. And this cast member who was driving a golf cart comes up and she's like, "Where are you guys headed?" And we're like, "Oh, we're going to the campfire." And she's like, "Hop in, I'll give you a ride." And we were like, "Oh, we don't want to be an imposition." She's like, "No, come on." So we get in, and my daughter is very chatty. She'll talk to anybody. So they're chatting it up. And we get there and we pay the exorbitant, like whatever, $8 to make 2 s'mores kind of thing. And we're waiting in line. And that same cast member walks up to us and she's like, "Hey, do you guys want to meet Chip and Dale?" And we're like, "Well, yeah, they're coming out, right?" And she's like, "No, I'm inviting you to be the family, the campfire family of the evening." And we're like, "What the heck is that?" Like, so she takes us back behind like the stands where people sit to like sing, and then they do the movies under the stars there as well. And Chip and Dale walk out of this little like cabin where they were getting themselves presentable, and we had like a 10-minute uninterrupted interaction with the two of them. My daughter loved it. It was just so amazing. And then she took my phone and like took pictures of us walking in with them. And like, that's probably like the most pixie dust we ever received on a trip. And I hope I never forget that memory.
And I bet your husband was really bummed that he didn't go with you, right?
Oh my God. We go back. I'm like, look at all these things you missed. So yeah, we to this day do not let him live that down.
Did he at least learn his lesson?
Oh yeah, he doesn't do work anymore when we're in Disney.
Good.
All right. The next question is either your favorite retired attraction that no longer exists or has been renovated to something different.
I said before this was going to come up, and it's the Star Cruiser. And I could spend an hour talking about how much that I hate the Star Cruiser is gone and how much I love it, but it is absolutely the Star Cruiser.
Okay. What was like one of the top things that stuck out to you for that experience?
It was just a total experience from walking on the first day till the minute that we left on the third day. Just the immersion, the dedication from every cast member, not just the characters, but the folks that worked in dining and the folks that worked in the gift shop and the folks that gave tours around the Star Cruiser. Everyone was dedicated to that project and everyone put their heart into that project. And even if you weren't one of the face characters that you interacted with, you had a character and you knew where your character was from in the galaxy. And like everyone was excited to talk to the folks that were there. It was a really magical experience. It was one of those experiences that I think from the outside people got the wrong idea about. And if you never experienced it, it's really hard to explain to someone why it was so great because there are all the things that people say, it was too expensive and, it doesn't even have a pool or whatever the people said about it. But it was just from the moment you walked into the hotel, onto the attraction, onto the Star Cruiser, even before you actually got up there, you got a safety briefing from Mark Daniels, which was amazing. I love Mark Daniel, but just from the moment you got on the Star Cruiser until you got off on your third day, you were in a galaxy far, far away. That it was amazing. It was an experience that I don't know that I will ever be able to replicate in my life.
Yeah. I think too, because it was not open very long and, there's limited availability, you're kind of in a minority of people who actually got to experience it.
Yeah, and there are, a small but mighty group of us who are keeping the legacy of the Halcyon going. We have a convention every year. This is the third year they're doing Halcycon in Orlando. So there's a group of us that are really dedicated and want to keep that magic going. But it was a really amazing time, and it's really sad that they moved on from it so quickly.
Yeah. I wish they could have in some way kept it as a resort. Um, I understand it's kind of in an odd location. I know it didn't have a pool, but just the sheer experience I had it on the books for when I turned 40, and unfortunately it closed before that happened. So I was devastated that I never got to experience it.
Yeah, I really think it could have been a cool like dinner theater experience. Like
Yeah.
make it the Star Wars Hoopty Doo review, because a lot of the story happened around your dining. There was a dinner show on both nights that you were there. So I think they really could have taken some of that and turned it into a dinner experience, and
Mm.
or done something with it besides turning it into an office building.
Well, maybe in the future we'll see a reprise in some way on a Disney cruise.
So that you it's funny that you say that, because I think that is absolutely one of the big marketing things that they could have done to really help people understand it. It was a
Mm.
cruise on land. It really was. And if they had said, "Oh, you're going to get Disney Cruise Line points, or you get to be
Oh,
gold or silver or platinum if you do Star Cruiser," I think people would have gotten it a little more if they had sold it as a cruise and not, yeah, a resort or a hotel.
yeah. Oh, they should have hired you for marketing.
Hey, they did a survey of a lot of us after it closed. They sent a survey of like people who participated, and I want to think maybe I made a little difference, but I know I probably didn't.
Well, who knows? If the next ship is Star Wars themed, we'll give you all the credit.
I'll take it.
All right. So there's some pretty big projects in the pipeline for Disney. Obviously, like Villains Land is not going to be opening this year, but is there something coming to the parks in 2026 that you are most looking forward to?
Um, I think the Muppets Rock and Roller Coaster, as I mentioned before, is probably the thing I'm most looking forward to.
Okay.
From a project that's out there. Selfishly, the thing I'm most looking forward to is when I get to take my daughter for the first time. But that'll
No,
be a little later this year, and it's not, Disney's not doing anything with that. It's just something that selfishly I get to do.
she's still new though, so that counts.
Yeah, okay. That's the thing then.
I think for me, so I was at Disney. I live in Wisconsin, and so I have to fly to get to Disney in any kind of timely manner. So last year I did get an annual pass because I had several Run Disney events that I was participating in, and it made sense to get the annual pass at that point. The hardest part of having the pass last year was that my favorite attraction, Big Thunder Mountain, was closed the entire time I had it. So I am looking forward to riding Big Thunder Mountain again because I missed it so very much.
I agree with you. It's been hard to be in the Magic Kingdom with it closed.
That whole area back there just felt kind of dead for a while. I
For
mean, it's
sure.
better now. I don't know what they're going to do because it's like an area that feels like it's under the microscope of Disney Imagineers, but like we're not really sure. Like, are they going to change things up? Are they going to take out the shooting gallery? Who knows? Alrighty. So for our next question, how have you experienced any other Disney trips outside of Disney World? Now you did mention Disneyland, but have you been anywhere else on the globe?
I've not done any of the international parks, but like I said, I've done Disneyland and California Adventure, and I've done several cruises. So I have a little experience on Disney Cruise Line as well.
Okay. So of the ones that you've yet to do, what thing are you most hoping to do next that isn't Disney World or Disneyland?
My wife and I would really like to go to Disneyland Paris.
Ah,
Yeah, that that was our original honeymoon plan before uh, global pandemic shut that down.
oh, wah wah. Well, you got to make up for that at some point. So I hope you get a chance to go.
We will for sure.
All right. Besides an engagement ring, what is a must-have in your park bag?
Sun protection.
Yes.
Hat, sunglasses, sunscreen. I am someone who burns easily, so I cannot be there without some sort of sun protection.
I feel that very much. How about your favorite piece of Disney memorabilia?
I think it's definitely the lightsaber my wife and I built right before our engagement. It still hangs
Okay.
up on our wall. We love to show it off, so that is the one for sure.
I too have my own lightsaber from Savvy's workshop. So
Isn't that
it's
experience just the best?
I was smiling the entire time.
I mentioned
It's
on my friend's trip, I took everyone and paid for everyone to build a lightsaber because I knew if I said, "Hey, we're going to go do this thing and it's going to be $250," they would have said, "No, we're not going to do that." But my wife and I paid for them to build a lightsaber, and it was. They still talk about that experience and how wonderful it was.
sometimes you just need to embrace the inner kid. And that is
Absolutely.
great. It's a great place to do it. All right. What is one of your biggest pet peeves when you're in the park?
So I know when folks go, especially if it's, your first time or it's your one-time trip to Disney, it's easy to get lost in the magic and then stop in the middle of the walkway. So folks stopping in the middle of the walkway is my biggest pet peeve, but I think if that's my biggest pet peeve, I'm doing okay.
Yeah, that one's a struggle. And also the strollers in the back of the heel. Not a big fan of that.
I am so nervous that I'm going to do that, but I'm going to try my best not to.
Gotta put like a pool noodle or something around the front of your a bumper. All right. Last question. Disney has given you the green light to do anything your heart desires in one of the parks. What project would you want Disney to take on?
So really, this is something that is, I think, totally doable and not pie in the sky. I would love to see Disney embrace more of the immersion and do more walk around characters.
Mm,
Um, I went to Epic Universe a few months ago, and it really just struck me how much those walk around characters in Dark Universe or in the How to Train Your Dragon area really
hmm
bring you into that world and really immerse you into it. And yeah, it's cool to see some of the characters in Batu, but you look back at the original plans for what Galaxy's Edge was
Oh,
supposed
yeah.
to be, and you're like, man, wouldn't it be cool if you got to see all of those characters and all of those things? So I really wish they would just. I know it's difficult. I know it's hard. I know Disney World is not Disneyland, and you can't do all the same things. But I would love to see more walk around characters like that. I miss, the Streetmosphere in
Mm,
Hollywood Studios. I miss those little things that really immerse you into the park experience.
I wholeheartedly agree. That's a great answer. Well, thank you for sitting in the hot seat and taking on all of those questions. I hope our listeners have gotten a chance to know you a little bit better. Um, and I think that about does it for this episode. So we hope you enjoyed the show. You've earned your new podcast host stamp.
If you're looking for a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, continue to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Just search the Port Key Passport. Want in on the antics? Send us a transmission at portkeypassport@portkeyvacations.com with your comments and questions. Listen and subscribe to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and everywhere else podcasts are found. And feel free to leave a cast compliment in a review. Plan your next magic adventure by contacting your favorite Port Key Vacations agent at portkeyvacations.com. Podcast Assemble on the UUOP Network, the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Rush of Fear, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast. The Taste of Universal podcast. UUOP UK, Big Dumb Stuff, and Theme Park Duo for West Coast news and updates. And check out our network partner, The Fudge Factor, on YouTube for park vlogs.